Hey, what's up, guys? Back here at GSL. Tasteless and Artosis, the Cassian Archon. We just saw a pretty big upset in that first game. I don't know, man. I think it's possible. It's very possible that MMA can win this.
Well, he looked just so sharp there, Tasteless. Yeah. That is something very hard to stop. That was like a build order win. There was not much that MVP could have done there. He tried several things. None of them even came close to working. If MMA can keep up play like that, it will be a domination.
And let's point this out, that the build order win that you talked about, that's a risky strategy. You don't normally make your stuff in the middle of the map. You make it usually on that plateau that you start out with, where there's a small ramp, you can control information. But he said, you know what? I don't think MMA is too greedy to go for Command Center first, but I do see him doing some kind of an early expansion build due to the architecture of the map, and he basically, he stopped him. He stopped MVP's very middle-of-the-road build with a very acute, specific opener.
It was so cute, man. Seriously.
Acute.
Oh, I know.
It was sexy, too. So, it looks like we're ready to start this game. Are you guys ready?
The countdown has begun, Tasteless.
It's time, nerds from all over the world watching. Actually, there are nerds from all over the world down here. I met guys from Brazil, from India, people coming down here from France. It's so cool. It's so great to see all the nerds uniting. You guys should give yourselves a round of applause. All right, it's time. Game number 2 is now loaded. We will throw that up on screen for you guys. Can we see this upset occur? We're going to find out. We're going to have more information after this. Over here, in the upper right, we have the Game Genie Terran. He has more builds than anybody else. He's feared around the world. His ID is... Meanwhile, bottom left starting location in this one-on-one map mentored by Slayer's Boxer. It's not his first time here in the States. He's still the underdog. His ID is...
You nailed that, Tasteless.
Did I do it?
That was like...
that was better than our first one.
That was like meant to be, Tasteless.
All right, so it looks like MMA going to play a little bit more textbook-like. He's going to go for that barracks next to that command center in the middle of the map. Meanwhile, the same here for MVP. Or am I saying in the middle of the map? I'm in the middle of his base, excuse me.
That's all right. No gases yet. Oh, a gas actually did just go up for our blue player, MMA. And we are going to have to see what he wants to do with this. You know, we have seen MMA quite a few times actually open up with Reapers on this map in TVT. You can control those watchtowers, and sometimes we see him take a gold base with that.
Yeah, that's a really good build. Of course, the Zelnaga watchtowers on this map just as important as they are on a map like Zelnaga Caverns, for instance. So important. Unlike Antigua Shipyard, which plays more of a positional role in controlling the gold bases, here it's just for raw intel.
Well, we do see that he is getting a tech lab right away on that barracks, and that most likely means Reapers. At least one, and again, we've seen him do this multiple times. MMA is... I mean, this is standard for him. So MVP will have seen every single TVT this guy played. No doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to win this. He has studied up. So he will be scouting for gold bases just in case.
Yeah, it's part of me wonders if that gold base stealing strategy is even going to stay in style.
Yeah, I
think it's going to go out of style like bell-bottom jeans, you know?
Exactly, Tasteless. But then again, of course, he'll try to come back one day.
Is he just scouting?
I think so, yeah.
Think so?
Pretty sure.
All right. It's good. Looks like we're going to have MMA now do a build that's not exactly that different from the build we saw MVP do, and just getting one barracks out, expanding. We do have a Reaper on the map, and what's great about the Reaper when you do a build like this is the Reaper keeps a lot of fear in the opposing player's heart when it comes to leaving his base. He knows if I leave my base, he can walk in, because Reapers can jump up cliffs, he can kill all of my SCVs.
And he is making another Reaper as well. I'll be really interested to see if he gets that third Reaper out. You know, we have seen, in fact, he's already queued it up. So we're actually going to see 3 Reapers. And here we go, a Reaper coming into this main base here. Some Marines going after him. And he is going to have to get out of there, but does pick up a lot of intel. Only 1 gas. That's a lot of information. Definitely no cloaked Banshees anytime soon.
2 more barracks on the way to make a total of 3. We do have combat shields coming up here. And it looks as though we're either going to have middle-of-the-road play, a Marine Siege Tank, or there is the potential for Marine Marauder.
Well, you know, we do have 1 factory going up for MVP, and I think we're probably going to see him go into mech at one point, and then that means we will definitely see some Marine Marauder out of MMA, but hopefully he will transition into some Siege Tanks, because without them, a very careful and meticulous MVP will not be killable.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct about that. We saw Reactor going up over there in MVP's base. He may throw the factory onto that to get that all worked out. Oh, 3 Reapers.
That's a lot of Reapers, Tasteless, but that's a lot of Marines as well. And they're going to want to get out of there. Loses one. Nice. And not really doing a lot of damage. I'm surprised he even engaged those Marines for a moment.
MVP saying GTFO to those Reapers as they're now trying to find some way to get in. And gosh, I gotta say, MVP's defense has been stellar.
Yeah, it has, and you know, we do see a gold base being snuck.
Okay, so people are still doing this.
Well, he's already taken his natural, so this might be something that MVP finds a little bit odd. You know, if you scout the natural, then you're going to think, you know, I don't think he really took gold as well. That'd be pretty greedy. I don't think he's a greedy guy, but you know what? He wants all that 50K for himself, so I guess he is.
You know, it's interesting. I always feel like if I ever see Reapers on this map, that we're going to see the gold base taken. So this is cool. He's done a double expand. And now that's a Hellion moving out, but as you guys may have learned with us at GSL, oftentimes the Reaper can kill a Hellion. This time, though, the Reaper's a little bit injured.
That they are. We do have Cloak on the way for Banshees as well as Blue Flame for the Hellions. MVP doing everything at once. He is really getting ready to do a huge amount of tech. And the thing is, these tech units are going to be very strong against the spread out army of MMA. He's going to have a hard time defending that top left gold base. Blue Flame Hellions running up there? No, your Marines are not going to do much against that.
Well, what do you think? Would you get a planetary at the gold base or an orbital?
You know, I would definitely go for that orbital just to drop more mules. It's based along your opponent not actually scouting.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I suppose you're right, Archers. If it gets spotted, it's like, well, you know, no matter what, it's going to be picked up. And taking out that Reaper now. We see, again, a continued infantry production here, and that's going to really pick up when mules start hitting the gold base. And he's going to only send his mules to the gold base because he wants to mine that up as fast as possible before it's taken. And look, it's not just about him getting those minerals. It's about the fact that later on when MVP is supposed to be entitled to having that, he won't be able to get those gold minerals. He spotted it.
That's right, and does kill the SCV, making the bunker, but a lot of Marines are up here. Now that he knows that's there, that is going to give MVP an advantage. As long as he knows how to deal with this, to continually harass, that plus his Banshee, it's going to be just so hard to stop. MMA is going to be very split up.
The Banshee doing a ton of damage here, now chasing out these SCVs. The factor here is that it's okay to lose Marines, it's not okay to lose the SCVs. He needs to get those turrets up here, and right now MVP is kiting with that Banshee is just too good.
That it is getting away from the scan. Beautiful move there by MVP, and in fact, making him use scans instead of mules at the gold. That is another thorn in the side of his opponent, and oh my god, he almost loses that.
God, how many hit points is that?
7 left.
Okay, another Banshee over here. MVP really showing him what a strong player is, focusing down these mules. And do we have a scan? Ooh. We do.
A little bit of a sloppy play there, and does lose it.
He was not accounting the fact that the turret was going to finish. He was just looking at those Marines, so got caught a little bit off guard there. And right now, you know, I got to say, it looks fairly even, but if this game continues to move forward, there's going to be no way that you could stop MMA if he keeps that gold base up for a while.
Well, he's trying to. A lot of Blue Flame Hellions going around the map right now. If they can take out all the mules, that is going to be great. And there we go, going up here to raid this base. Not a lot up there, though. A single Marauder going to be pretty scary for these, and he's going to get out of there. Really not killing all that much.
Very nice. The audience here cheering on for MMA as he is continuing to do what I would say is a spectacular job so far against a player who is clearly the favorite going into this.
Very much so, Tasteless. Now, we do have 3 factory mech plus 1 starport with a reactor making Vikings for MVP. He's going to have to be very careful, take a slow third base, and not get out of position. So a lot of this game is going to be about his opponent trying to find him out of position. But here we go. Blue Flame Hellions against Marines and a Marauder.
Stim.
The Marauder. Oh, huge flank by MMA. Just cleaning up everything.
Yeah. Brilliant. Now, look, he's going for mech right now, MVP is, and that's generally what we would say is the best thing to do. But for the time being, with a gold base secured and map control here for MMA, I don't know. This might be one of those moments where mech is not the right thing to go for. Oh!
Beautiful move there by MMA. He is crossing every T, dotting every I, sometimes drawing a heart over that I. He's just playing beautifully.
Dotting every lowercase j. He's got it all covered. Now we have siege mode on the way. And it looks like he may transition into a... oh, hold that thought. I'm sorry. We have a Banshee here. Now, he's got to be very careful because that Banshee, I mean, it could bump into a tree branch right now and die. Its hit points are so low. He's got to be really careful because that's actually one of the only things that MVP has going for him right now.
I could see that happening too, Taste. He's like, ah! The leaves rustle against the front.
The leaves brush on the side of the Banshee and it just plummets and crashes into the waterfall. Now, let's see here. The Marines, the Marauders, the Medevacs are controlling the map. And again, another what looks like it's going to be a failed attack here. I don't even know if he's going to kill an SCV here. No, yeah. Another attack denied.
Just spraying him down a little bit there. But, you know, the supply is still pretty close. We have a little drop going right now. Just some Marines and Marauders being dropped out, but the missile turrets, one of them at least being completed. And in comes plenty of units to clean that up.
This is the first real moment where we've gotten to see MVP truly deny any aggression since that Reaper holdoff.
That is right. And right now he has 10 siege tanks against just 2 of MMA. But MMA is adding another factory. He is actually going to do a transition into a lot more siege tanks, and that's going to be beautiful for him. Get map control, get a bunch of siege tanks out, and then really put it to your opponent.
The Marines, the Marauders, the siege tanks now moving out. Again, MVP still kind of stuck in the corner of the map. MMA free to move around. It looks like MMA may try to do a timing attack here in this base in the top center, which is controlled here by MVP. And if he gets this, I don't think there's really much room to catch up.
Beautiful tank siege right there. He's trying to deny just a little bit of that base without overextending. MVP has to move up a big chunk of his army, but MMA is walking around the map right now. These 2 siege tanks are just a lure. If he gets too out of position, this army that we see right here on screen will counterattack, and it will be really hard to stop.
By the way, we're getting to the point where they're almost max right now. 166 supply here for MVP, and for MMA, 178.
Well, MMA is taking that 4th base right now, continuing to produce Marines and Marauders as well as siege tanks. On the other hand, MVP, his siege tank count is getting pretty out of control. He's got to be careful, though. Doesn't want to overextend here, chasing away this army just for a moment.
Yeah, you got to engage only when you know you're going to win. All right, he stims, knowing that maybe they're out of line, away from the siege tanks, but he's got to be careful, too. There's a ton of Vikings, and he could shoot down every single medevac, and that means that every time that MMA stims, he's going to be in trouble.
He's already having a hard time keeping the hit points up on his Marines and Marauders. All those are pretty badly damaged. And in the meantime, a nice little siege tank attack on the side here, just trying to deny as much mining as possible.
Oh my God, we need to get a shot of the main base here. There's a massive drop going on up there.
Oh, but the Vikings taking care of medevacs just so well. And without medevacs, all these units in the main will be cleaned up much, much easier.
Meanwhile, MVP now moving over here saying, I know the gold base is exposed and you can't have it anymore. MVP starting to get back into this game. Things are starting to balance out.
I think he might be asleep.
Oh, well, this is just sad. No, let's see here. Okay, I think that account that's lagging is neither the players nor you or me.
It's not.
It's not, so it's okay.
Yeah,
the game was too awesome. The computer couldn't handle it. It crashed. That sometimes happens.
That's pretty normal, actually.
Yeah, that's the LG 3D Cinema computers. So I guess those of you who are over there, if you can hear us, which actually I guess they could because we're casting these games. Ooh, we should stand up more on camera. You are going to have to come over here. You can check it out in Hall D down that way, or you can come over here into where we are. We're broadcasting this from. So I think what's actually going to happen is it's just going to drop, and then we're going to go back into the game. So
yeah, this
don't
game
worry.
I just want to say something before this happens. The supply right now, 171 to 171. This game is pretty close.
And nobody has a gold base anymore.
That's right.
They both have their third natural blue bases. And are we out? Yeah, not yet. So sit tight, guys. We're sorry for the second technical delay here. But it should be sorted out pretty soon here. And I think we're getting confirmation from the players that they're going to be ready. Are you guys ready?
And here we go. Right back into the game. Those siege tanks taking out the gold. Most of the minerals gone, though, so that did a lot of what it was meant to. And look at this. MMA out of position. He's got to be careful, though. MVP cannot be losing all these Hellions. He needs them to soak up damage and deal it to the Marines.
And this is the fundamental problem with going Marine Marauder when you get this late in the game. Mech, once you have enough siege tanks, it deals too much damage. Another attack over here. And right now, MMA running with his tail between his legs. His MVP is starting to become just too scary.
He is indeed. He's up at 187 supply against the 166 of his opponent. But the really bad thing, even though that supply difference doesn't seem so much, MVP's units are way more cost efficient, but not if they're not siege. A beautiful catch right there, flanking with Marauders. MVP way out of position.
Oh my God. The tank count getting so drastically reduced here. The Vikings are landing, but there are more Marauders over there. And here's the way it works, guys. If you lose all your siege tanks, that's different from losing all your Marines. Siege tanks, you never have as many factories as you have barracks generally. So you've lost all these units that are incremented out. So he has to start over in that sense. So that's pretty good. But at the same time, MVP still not looking afraid at all. He's going to keep moving forward. Maybe I'm wrong. I think maybe he will be able to take this. We'll see. He's in siege mode now.
Well, you know, he's really the only player in the world, Tasteless, that can go mech and attack with it like this. You know, a lot of times we see players just want to wait till the max. It's a lot easier to move across that map and not lose your army. But MVP, his macro is spot on. He's still up in supply, 167 to 152. And just doing a great job of pushing MMA back.
Okay, so the gold base now being taken again here by MMA, the bottom right one, as well as the center left expansion. And this is possible only because he had that gold base to begin with. He just had these extra minerals before it was lost, so he invested it wisely. Meanwhile, I think the center point here is going to be this attack that is about to occur here. Actually, like two passing ships in the night, they go by each other. Meanwhile, an attack over here at the expansion and nothing there to defend.
They're going to be able to kill off a lot of those SCVs. MVP being a little bit confused about what he should do here, still mining some and losing quite a bit.
Well, he can't mine from that location. His army has to go all the way back over there. That means the gold base for MMA is going to be up, and this base that we just now got a shot of over here in the center left is going to be up and running as well.
That's right, and in this time, with those few units, he has done so much. Slowed the economy of MVP, made him withdraw, and now dropping in the main base. Really abusing the lack of mobility of MVP's mech.
Beautiful. Mech, it's strong, it's deadly, but it's not exactly mobile. Now he stims, he runs away, and he can continue to destroy depots or turrets, whatever he wants, supply blocking his opponent.
Doing a great job right now, and in fact, he's going to be counterattacking as well. He's got to be careful here. Oh my God, he's going to catch so many of these siege tanks. Beautiful spreads by MMA, taking them out.
And that, I think, actually might, you know, he's cut him off, essentially. He's backing up. He sees siege tanks going to siege mode. Adroitly outmaneuvers that situation. And this is getting ugly because right now MMA can afford to lose units, and MVP cannot. The supply right now, 139 for MVP, 182 for MMA.
Well, MVP is in so much trouble right now, Tasteless. He's going to realize, okay, I actually have to slow down. There's no way to keep attacking against a Max Terran at this small supply. Almost nothing left mining. Look at this, another beautiful Marauder attack over to the side. just abusing every single location that MVP is not at.
And you know what's sexy about this is he's escaping in time. If he can't do any more damage, he just runs out. And I actually see MVP losing this game at this point in time. I mean, he is like he is being rocked over and over and over.
That is so true, Tasteless. It's like that GSL theme song was made for MMA.
He's all in. He's taking the remainder of his SCVs. I don't think he realizes how much of the map MMA has. It's going to be very hard to stamp out all those locations.
Well, those SCVs taking a lot of hits, and the Siege Tank's doing a great job there. And in comes the lone Banshee, Tasteless.
So smart. It's mostly Marauders and Siege Tanks, which obviously cannot fire up. So the Banshee is going to drive them out of position for the Marines.
Oh! And somehow that Banshee lives down to just 5 hit points left.
Somehow, some way.
Well, he's now got a watchtower with a lot of Siege Tanks, and the transition to Siege Tanks has worked beautifully for MMA. Really no way for MVP to keep moving forward.
All right, here we go. He's moving in here again, but there's going to be a brilliant counterattack. And let's face it, in a base trade scenario, it's pretty clear who has more of the map, who has more bases, and that person is MMA. This game's going to be ending very soon, and it would take a miracle right now for MVP to win this.
It certainly would, Tasteless. We see he has a very powerful force here, so he probably won't leave the game too quickly. But, I mean, he's going to have to lift up buildings. There's no way he's going to remove MMA's army from his base.
Landing the Vikings here. He mows down the Siege Tank. And this is just, I don't know, guys. I mean, look, Siege Tanks, let's think about it. They deal a lot of damage, but are they mobile? Nice. Even dropping on top of them.
Beautiful move right there.
Oh, my God.
Dealing so much splash damage to themselves are these Siege Tanks. In fact, a Marauder's in there. Goodbye, Rambo.
All right, he's in here. He's now destroying the production facilities. And again, as I was saying, Siege Tanks do a lot of damage, but you got to siege them up. You got to unsiege them. That takes a while. The only thing I can think going on, oh my God, this planetary is gone. And I would say expect GG any second.
That's right, 39 supply to 139. That's quite a deficit for MVP. I cannot believe my eyes. MMA is just playing brilliantly.
He's playing so well. He never even got to the point where his production facilities were under fire. The money right now, he has, oh, never mind. GG. We have another win here for MMA.
That's right. He is serious Tasteless. He's been to the finals before. He's almost tasted victory in the GSL, but this is his night. He is just dominating. MVP, though, he played a very strong game. Made just a very small mistake there. You know, that one point where he was in the middle of the map with his tanks unsieged and got caught with a huge arc. It was like a 180-degree arc of Marauders stemmed, and when you're not sieged up, you're totally getting owned.
And this is the thing about going for mechanical units, if you don't know what mech is, in StarCraft 2 is Siege Tanks are so expensive, they don't build quickly like Marines. You can't get a reactor on your factory. You make double Siege Tanks at a time. So there was this moment where we saw MVP was getting a lead, then he moves out, and he lost, 6 or 7 Siege Tanks.
It was far too many. Siege Tanks become exponentially more powerful in larger and larger groups, and if those had all been sieged, all those Marauders disappear. He loses like 1 unit, but unsieged, that turned the game completely around, and from there, MMA was spectacular. He was everywhere at once, punishing MVP at every turn, every corner, every nook, and every cranny.
He played so well. I love this strategy that he did. What did he do? He took a normal expansion with a Reaper build, and that's really not that unique, okay? And then he took what we saw in older GSL strategies, the one where you go for Reaper first and you take the gold first. He took the gold base and the natural expansion. So, you know, we have too many 3-letter name players, and this is hard to cast. With MVP, he probably saw the blue base and said, oh, okay, it's just that, that normal Reaper expand build. But no, it was not. And getting all those gold minerals, as well as losing, for him losing those Banshees, it was pretty bad. We're going to go to a 3-minute break. But when we get back, we're going to be here with game number 3 of the GSL Finals. We'll see you soon.